All right, let's move on to our last segment. So this one's not quite as depressing as the first two segments, thankfully. So I don't know if I have told you, I actually write articles for the Katy Taylor Weekly. Ever tell you that?
I think you have.
Yeah, it's a paper that's here in Dallas. It's a local paper, but it's got pretty good circulation. And they were looking for somebody to write medical segments, and I was like, yeah, I'll do this. I've actually been doing it for almost a couple years now. Sort of once in a while, I'll write an article for them, and I'm like, you know what, that'd make a pretty good segment. So that's how this segment came about. Okay. And this one is about the best foods for good health. Okay. And I think everybody has a little bit of an idea about what foods are good or bad. But I just want to dive into a little bit because, we all want to be healthy, right? Everyone, I think, deep down wants to be healthy. But a lot of the things that you have to do to be healthy require a lot of time and effort, such as, dieting, working out. I know you work out all the time and you're very, very dedicated, but not everybody is as dedicated as you are at doing that. And so it's nice to know that there are ways that you can improve your health with something as basic as what foods you pick.
Yeah, I know.
So are you good?
I'm dedicated to working out, but I'm so bad
about picking out foods.
Yeah.
I've been better about exercising. I kind of got back into running, although I've been working so much, I haven't been hitting as much as I wanted to. But I do try to pick foods that are good. I try. I'm not the best at it, but I'm getting better. And it's been shown through the research that picking the right foods can have significant impact on your health and prevent things like heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes, loss of bone density, loss of muscle. Mm-hmm. So there is a lot of research to show that this does help. And research also shows that the American diet sucks. Our diets comparatively to other prosperous nations is not good. Yeah. We have a diet that has a lot of empty calories, and it's really high in energy but very nutrient poor. Yeah. It's like the soda, right? We talked about that, I don't know, a few segments ago, how I used to drink soda all the time. It's just literally empty calories. Right. It's just pure sugar and energy, but nothing beneficial. So have you ever heard of nutrient-dense foods? Have you heard of that term? Yeah. You have? Yeah. Okay, I hadn't heard of that. Oh. Are you familiar with which foods are nutrient-dense?
The complex carbohydrates are nutrient-dense, right? Or is that the opposite?
Well, there are certain carbohydrates that are better than others, but at least from what I was researching, when people talk about nutrient-dense foods, they're talking about things that are low in saturated fats, low in sodium, low in added sugars, but rich in vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients. Okay. So it's basically
green things.
Pardon?
Green things.
That's one of them, but you'd be surprised that it's a lot more than that.
Okay.
So this honestly should be a good segment. I thought you would probably knew all that. I probably thought, well, I'm going to do this segment. Sarah's going to know all
it. It might jog my memory
a bit. Okay. Foods aren't necessarily labeled as being nutrient dense, but that is what you want to shoot for if you want to get the most healthy diet that you can. So let's talk about it. Well, obviously we're in Texas and everybody likes meat, right? Mm-hmm. So lean meats are obviously a good start. Poultry, pork, seafood. But there is one meat that stands out as being the best nutrient-dense food. Throw a shot in the dark?
I would say chicken or fish.
It is a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but specifically the one that people talk about the most is salmon.
Yeah, so, I eat that.
You like salmon? Mm-hmm. I like salmon too. I like fish. I probably should eat more of it. I actually do really like fish. I like steak too much though, which is probably the worst. It's literally the worst meat to eat, but it's my favorite. Anyway, so salmon, very high in protein, very low in saturated fat, which is good. Has vitamin B12, vitamin K, iron, vitamin D, and very importantly, it has, you've heard of omega-3 fatty acids? Mm-hmm. So those are very good for brain function, heart health, and your joints. Yeah. And it is very, very rich in omega-3 fatty acids. So if you want to pick out the best nutrient-dense meat, salmon is one that you can't go wrong on. Right. Another one, and I heard this one before, and I think we did a segment on this, is almonds. Didn't we do a segment on almonds?
I've talked about...
Maybe you did a segment on almonds.
I've talked about meals, how to eat like to incorporate more protein into your diet?
Yeah, almonds are great.
Yeah.
High protein, high in vitamins, minerals, fiber. You know, we need fiber in our diet, antioxidants. And almonds do have fat, but it's monosaturated fats, which are actually good for your heart.
Yeah, the good fats.
It's the good fats, yeah. And you can eat them whole, or you can slice them up and put them in salads, entrees, desserts. So there's a lot of ways that you can eat almonds.
I can't eat almonds, so I usually eat like pistachios or something.
You can't eat almonds? Are you
I'm
allergic?
allergic to them.
You are?
If,
like really
if they're
allergic?
raw, like just regular almonds, yeah.
Really?
It makes my mouth itchy.
Really?
And then my
Oh, yeah, you
stomach will
definitely-
start hurting.
Yeah, you definitely don't want them then, because I mean those nut allergies can be like legit.
Yeah.
So be careful. But yeah, almonds are very good nutrient-dense food. So obviously most fruits are going to be you know good, but there's two that stand out. Apples.
Okay.
One of the reasons apple stands out is there's so many varieties that there's always an apple somebody will like. Meaning, you know, if you don't like tart, well then there's sweet apples. If you don't like sweet, then there's tart. So there's a lot of different varieties, and they have a lot of fiber, which is good for your digestive system and also decreases the risk of heart disease. They have vitamin C and flavonoids, which I know we've talked about flavonoids. They are a substance that helps with protecting against cellular damage.
Okay.
So they're high in flavonoids. And the other fruit that's really good, oddly enough, is blueberries.
Really?
Which I love blueberries.
I guess blueberries, don't they have antioxidants?
Yeah, man, look how smart you are. So vitamin C, vitamin K, and it's anthocyanins is the specific thing that blueberries have, which are good for memory function, protecting your cells, preventing diabetes, and preventing obesity.
I like
So-
blueberries.
I do too. I love fruit. We always have a membership to the Fruit of the Month Club, which I know is like the nerdiest like old person
That's
thing.
kind
in
of
the world.
cool.
I love it. We do like
Do they deliver it to your house or something?
Absolutely. It's like fruit and cheese of the month, and they'll pair the fruit and the cheese.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it was fun.
That sounds nice.
Well, it's funny because
I like both of those things.
I love fruit and cheese, and so my wife actually, like many years ago, bought that for me for Christmas, and she was telling one of her friends, she's like, "Yeah, I bought Bruce this Fruit and Cheese of the Month Club." She's like, "Why would you do that? He's gonna hate that." And she was like, "No, he's gonna love it." And of course, she was right. I mean, I do love it. It's like, oh, what's the Fruit and Cheese of the Month?
I would like it too. That sounds
It's pretty
nice.
cool. All right, the next really healthy food is beans.
Yep.
Americans' diets are actually really low in beans compared to other countries, which
Yeah,
is,
English people eat a lot of beans.
do they?
Yeah,
Soups.
they have beans with like their breakfast.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
Well, they're probably healthier. Well, I know for a fact they're healthier. Americans are like the most unhealthy people in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Like, we're so bad. So beans are high in protein, high in fiber, low in fat, and high in nutrients such as phosphorus, iron, thiamine, magnesium, zinc, folate, and phosphate. So they're kind of like a very well-rounded food. I think the only kind of risk is I think, oh, I'm gonna eat beans, let me eat refried beans, which, you know, like those are cooked in lard. So like it takes all like the positive and actually, you know, probably makes
Does it say like what the best beans to eat are?
It didn't.
Oh.
At least not the article that I was reading didn't specifically go. It said most, like all beans are pretty much good.
Nice.
But you know, once again, how you prepare them, right? Because I mean, we live in Texas, so when I think of beans, I think of refried beans.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Have you ever
refried.
had pinto beans?
Yeah,
Like
of
pinto
course.
beans at a Mexican restaurant?
Yes.
Because that's refried beans. It's just pinto beans is
Yeah, but they're
right?
cooked different.
Yeah.
I think the refried they're mixed with lard, right?
Yeah.
Like it's pure fat.
But they're made out of pintos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
They're
yeah,
just-
definitely cooked different though.
Yeah.
Like
More bad.
Yeah, more bad. Okay, so whole grain foods have all parts of the grain and includes the wheat germ. So
Yeah.
wheat germ is really good for you. It has many vitamins and also has a high level of antioxidants. And so I honestly not sure I could have told you what foods have wheat germ in them. Are you familiar?
I've heard of it, but
Yeah, I've heard
I
it
try to
too.
always get whole grain everything.
Yeah, and that's good. So popcorn, which we eat a ton of popcorn in my house.
Yeah, I like
love
popcorn.
Brown rice,
Okay.
not the white, the brown.
I eat that, yeah.
And then oats are the other big one.
Yeah.
And of course things like whole grain breads and whatnot. And then of course you talked about the obvious one, which actually was kind of far down on this list, are certain vegetables.
Yeah.
You know, all vegetables are pretty much good for you, especially the leafy vegetables. But three that stood out were spinach, which I'm not a huge spinach fan. I like it in some soups, but I don't eat like a lot of spinach.
Sometimes
salads.
I throw it on top. I like cook it and I'll throw it on top of like my spaghetti like meat sauce
Oh,
or something.
really?
I'll just like throw it on top of it and like just eat it, and you can't even taste the spinach.
Yeah.
Because it's just
I like
there.
spinach in like soups, like
Yeah.
spinach and kale soups. Broccoli, which I just can't do broccoli. If I'm going to be unhealthy because I don't eat broccoli, then I'm just going to resign myself to being unhealthy. I just do not like broccoli.
But broccoli's in so much like Asian food.
I just pick it out. I'm really adept with the chopsticks, like broccoli, tick, 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 and just
Yeah.
like toss them out. Yeah, I don't care for broccoli at all.
Little trees.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan of that. And then finally, sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Sweet potatoes are actually really good for you. Yeah, but there's a lot of foods on here that I really didn't realize how good they were for us. And actually, I'm gonna, like I said, I try to be good about what foods about. I'm gonna like actually take my own advice.
Yeah,
'Cause I do actually a lot of the grocery shopping in our house.
Yeah, you know what I did recently is I went on ChatGPT and
Nice.
I said,
I love ChatGPT.
I know. I said pretend to be a licensed nutritionist or dietitian.
Okay.
I told it like how much I weigh, what my height is, like what
Get out. How was
my
all that?
goals are. And I said, can you give me a meal plan, like a 3-day meal plan? And it mapped it out.
Did you do it?
Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and stuff. I tried to do it, but I was doing like, I followed like a low carb diet, and
Yeah.
I was just like, one of those moments where you just like look at yourself in the mirror, you're like, I'm not gonna do this. I cannot be like, make a sandwich with a piece of lettuce, or make a sandwich with a piece of bread. I'm gonna make a sandwich with a piece of bread.
Right. Oh, and you make a sandwich with lettuce?
Yeah,
Or
like a roll, like a wrap with
like a
like.
wrap, yeah.
I'm like, oh, that does not
Dude,
sound
Sarah,
as good.
you work out so much. That's the beauty of working out.
I
you
know.
don't have to get crazy. Like,
But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to ask it just to be like, make like a normal
Right.
diet. There was a lot of guano.
really?
Yeah. A lot of sweet potatoes,
Okay.
chicken.
Yeah, of course. No steak.
I don't know if there was salmon in it.
Steak and French fries?
No,
None?
none of that.
Ah, bummer.
But a lot of eggs too.
Oh, I do like eggs. But I like fried eggs. Man, I always like the foods that are like cooked the wrong way. Refried beans, fried eggs. Yum. Well, I hope you guys found that segment interesting. It does make a difference. The foods that you pick actually can make a really big impact on your health. So if you are interested in, improving your diet, look to some of those foods that we talked about, and maybe it'll help you out. So, all right, I think, Sarah, that's all the time we have for this week.
For sure.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Please leave us a comment. We want to hear from you. Let us know what segment you'd like us to talk about on the next episode of Nick Talk. See you.
Bye.
Bye.